What if I told you that the most iconic movie characters and settings defy stereotypes the most? The moment anyone mentions a film's genre, we often think of the character tropes and cliches.
But what I do have are a very particular set of skills.
So what happens when we flip the expectations on its head? In this video, let's look at character and story settings in ways you might not expect and find some key takeaways. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button for more.
I'm back!
Characters. Many popular characters are popular for the way they go against the stereotype and stand out. Like Yoda, who has the stereotype of a master flipped on its head.
Right.
A master is what we think of as tall, strong and fearless. Instead, he is tiny, frail and annoying.
Jedi Master Yoda.
Or Norman Bates, where a killer would usually be violent and nasty. Instead, he is charming and tidy.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
When done well, can help make the end twist a bigger payoff and harder to see coming. But for this, we're going to look at Legally Blonde. Dumb blondes rethought.
There's nothing I love more than a dumb blonde with daddy's plastic.
You picked the wrong girl.
And what do you think might be some key takeaways? Dumb blondes are popular in comedy films.
Karen Smith, it's 68 degrees, and there's a 30% chance that it's already raining.
I want to marry him for your money.
In the beginning of Legally Blonde, Elwood's boyfriend Warner dumps her, thinking she's a straight-up dumb blonde and wouldn't stand a chance at law school.
Elle, if I'm gonna be a senator, well, I need to marry a Jackie, not a Marilyn.
So you're breaking up with me because I'm too blonde?
She does start out as a fashionable sorority girl, yes, with a penchant for pink, appearing more concerned with her appearance and social life instead of academic pursuits.
This is what I need to become to be serious.
A law student.
When accepted to Harvard, this creates for a very ironic situation. Elle's journey is setting out to prove the ex-boyfriend wrong, which delivers a message of empowerment and discovery.
I'm sorry, are you here to see me?
No, silly. I go here.
She cannot be a serious scholar, they say, resulting in distrust by her classmates. But she proves them wrong by excelling in her studies with a keen legal mind.
I'd pick the dangerous one, because I'm not afraid of a challenge.
After she learns Warner will never accept her,
I'm never going to be good enough for you, am I?
instead he's engaged to Vivian Kensington. At first portrayed as a typical antagonist, but evolves into a complex individual with her own aspirations and vulnerabilities. Elle, as well as Warner and Vivian, win a scholarship with Professor Callahan,
This is so much better than that!
appearing at first as a stern and traditional authority figure, but the film subverts his expectations by revealing a darker side to his character, highlighting appearances can be deceiving,
I'm a man who knows what he wants.
encouraging Elle to quit.
Callahan only gave me that internship because he liked the way I looked.
She's hired as an attorney after almost leaving law school. Vivian's initial competitive, hostile attitude softens and she becomes more supportive of Elle. This shift in their relationship reflects Vivian's growth as a character and her ability to look beyond superficial differences.
And I thought that was very classy of you.
In the climactic courtroom scene, where there's a cross-examination, what is perfect is, as well as proving she's not a dumb blonde, as she started out as somewhat obsessed with appearances, she has the perfect knowledge of
Got a perm and came home.
perms.
Because isn't it the first cardinal rule of perm maintenance that you're forbidden to wet your hair for at least 24 hours after getting a perm, at the risk of deactivating the ammonium thioglycolate?
Yes.
Ultimately, winning the case. 2 years later, Elle has graduated with all things in her favour and is one of Vivian's best friends. The ex loses everything. This sends a powerful message that women can excel in any field, irrespective of the stereotypes associated with their personal interests or appearance.
Remembering that first impressions are not always correct.
So the takeaways are, when there is an attitude that fits your character's trope, in this case dumb, try looking the opposite way. Send them somewhere they wouldn't usually go, like how a fashion-obsessed girl goes to law school. When they do change professions, keep something from their original skill set to pay off in the climax.
Fashion major?
Story settings. Many subgenres have its typical place of where to be set, like for coming-of-age films, high school, war films, the battlefield, road trip films, in a car or on the country road.
We can make it.
When subverted well, like the Grand Budapest Hotel, challenging traditional expectations of period dramas, or District 9 for how we usually see aliens come to Earth to wipe out humanity. But here, it's to rather connect and explore social issues.
Hey, Footsec there, you can't eat that, man.
Done well, there is something different for us to feel. For this, let's look at Cabin in the Woods and how it subverts typical horror tropes.
How hard is it to kill 9-year-olds?
0 fatality.
The popularity of the cabin setting started mainly in the 80s. As one of the movie's taglines puts it, you think you know the story.
I hope this is the right road. It doesn't even show up on the GPS.
Almost every typical horror setting is referenced, but the prime focus is on the cabin, where a group of young adults go away for the weekend and face supernatural threats. Going a step further, by it all being controlled by technicians in a control room, everything put in place from the weird paintings, lakes, door opening as if it were a ghost.
The wind must have blown it open.
It's as though they've gone, let's use the oldest story of a horror film and give it layers to play out, as well as young adults who fit the cliches perfectly. As they almost all die from attacks by supernatural monsters, rather than being some old scary tale of one death after the other, we're given somewhat of a gag as they play out.
God damn, that was close there. Photo fucking finish.
For the technicians, it's as though the story is ended 2/3 into the movie. Or so it's thought. When Marty, thought of as the fool, is not dead, this changes the narrative completely against what the technicians hoped for.
The fool. Do not touch the girl. If he outlives her, this whole thing goes to hell.
When Marty and Dana then find out about the control of the cabin, it soon evolves to be almost like an action movie as they fight their way through the control rooms.
Already started.
While succeeding, at the climactic scene, the director appears. She explains that if the Cabin in the Woods narrative doesn't play out, where the virgin needs to outlive the fool, it's the end of humanity.
We work with what we have.
Due to the ancient ritual from the gods beneath them who used to rule the earth.
It's time to give someone else a chance.
Serving as an allegory for horror fans. The key takeaways are, by deconstructing tropes, you can challenge the audience and keep them engaged. Layered storytelling can provide more substance than genre's tradition. Balancing genres can make things a lot more unpredictable. That's why cliches and stereotypes are not always a bad thing. As George Lucas summed it up best in his quote, "Don't avoid cliches. They are cliches because they work." Subverting stereotypes, however, can be a great way to create originality. If you want to see a video about a typical clean and dirty cop, check out the video here.